So for me, it's the case of $4 million a year profit, but working 4 days a week, 4 hours a day as well. That's kind of like the boundaries that we're setting. I'm not going to make that compromise. I'm not going to make the compromise on my health and fitness. I'm not going to make that compromise with my marriage. I'm not going to make that compromise with my friends. I'm not going to make that compromise with my mental health and well-being as well. How do I plan to generate over $4 million a year while working just 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, and only doing the work that I love? In this episode, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I plan to achieve that over the next year. But more importantly, I'm sharing this to help you so you can ask the right questions and understand the strategic thinking, the planning, and the execution needed so that you are able to earn the money that you want and really be able to build a business that you're excited to wake up to every day. This is where I want to be able to pull back the curtain because I know there's value in seeing someone else's thought process, because many entrepreneurs, especially coaches, are finding themselves not meeting profit targets, feeling stressed, and frankly, they're just not enjoying their business and they're feeling trapped. Because I know this, because that was me. Since selling my last coaching company, I was a bit over a year ago, I've logged over 220 hours of private consulting with business owners that are at the 6, 7, and 8 figure levels. Now, they came to me not just for growth strategies, but really also for the solutions of the fundamental issues that they're having in their businesses. And right now, we're wrapping up our first quarter with my new company, the Rainmakers. And we've already increased our monthly recurring revenue, our MRR, to over $200,000 a month without us spending a dime on paid ads and being able to keep really high profit margins. Actually, I'm pretty sure the ads turn on this week, which you might be seeing. So if we're just meeting for the first time, hi, I'm Chris Dufey. I sold my last multi-million-dollar coaching business a little over a year ago. But after selling that, I dedicated myself to really wanting to become one of the world's best at growing coaching businesses, which meant a year of high-end consulting to make sure I could actually put the reps under my belt and refine my skills. Because I was adamant about not wanting to coach or teach business building. I wanted to be hands-on in the trenches, actively building businesses. And that's when I spotted a massive gap in the market, which is the genesis of what became the Rainmakers in this business that I'm talking to you today about. Because there are many coaching and information business owners that are exceptional at what they do. This is probably you. You're a true expert. But they lack the necessary marketing and sales skills to actually scale their businesses effectively. So how the hell do I plan on being able to profit $4 million a year with the work constraints and boundaries that I set? Because I want to be able to, I enjoy business. I really do enjoy it. It's fantastic. But I'm a father of 4 daughters. I have an amazing wife that I want to be able to spend time with. I have friends that I want to be able to spend time with. I want to be able to take care of my health, and I'm interested in doing other stuff outside of business as well. I'm not a dude that just wants to be in business 24/7. That's not me. So I want to be able to have a good harmony between building business, earning the money that I want, and also enjoying life at the same time as well. Because especially with my daughters, they're aged between 2 and 10 right now, I want to be able to maximize my time that I have with them as well. I don't want to miss out on these moments because I'm trying to build a business, earn more money, and do all of that stuff. I'm not going to make that compromise. I'm not going to make the compromise on my health and fitness. I'm not going to make that compromise with my marriage. I'm not going to make that compromise with my friends. I'm not going to make that compromise with my mental health and well-being as well. So with that context in place, because it's important to understand when you look at somebody else and their plan and what they're building, you've got to be able to contextualize it in what's going to actually best fit for you. So for me, it's the case of $4 million a year profit, but working 4 days a week, 4 hours a day as well. That's kind of like the boundaries that we're setting. And continuing on with the theme of 4s, there's 4 key things that I want to be able to walk you through in this episode. There's 4 key things when I first sat down with a blank piece of paper and a pen and me saying, this is my goal, this is what I'm going to achieve this year. How am I going to achieve it? There are 4 key categories. One is going to be the math. What's the actual math In the back of the napkin, it actually makes sense of, I know exactly how many leads to how many sales to what we're selling, to what the price points are, to what the profit margins are inside of the business, so it actually profits what I want at the end of the day. Then there is the acquisition side of the business, which is a case of, well, what am I actually going to be doing to actually acquire clients? How do I get people that don't know me to know me in the business? How do I then actually set up the sales process to be able to turn those prospects into clients and to be able to give them an exceptional experience and service so they stay on board for the long term, because we're based on performance as well inside of the Rainmakers. The third part is going to be the delivery. How do we actually deliver what it is that we do to make sure that we are giving an exceptional experience and service to everybody that's coming on board? And then there's the fourth part, which is the operational and team as well. When I sold my last coaching company, I said to myself, I do not want to build the next business that has a big team. I want to be able to keep a small team, and I kind of like jokingly say with the team that we've got now, we're a team of 5. It feels like we're just like the Expendables. Do you mean like we're this crack team of dudes that all look super average with facial hair, tats, and like to lift heavy stuff and train martial arts. It's hilarious, but we're really goddamn good at what we do. So for me, these 4 key areas are super important. So let's start with the acquisition side of stuff. Let's start with, how do I actually get somebody that doesn't know me to know me in my thought process behind creating a system that's already working tremendously well. And so for me personally, I thrive on writing because it sharpens my thinking. And interestingly, only about 30 to 40% of my writing is business related. The rest focus on me living my best life. And this also comes to, I'm going to be going on tangents here because there's a lot of stuff that I want to make sure that you pick up that I'm putting down. And that's going to be a case of, for me, I write because it sharpens my thinking. It makes me better. It doesn't mean you need to write. This is me saying it. So that's why I'm saying what I'm doing, but why I'm doing it. And when it comes to content creation, I want to solve the problems in my life. How do I live my best life? So that comes to, I produce content, I talk about things, I write about things that is to do with parenting, to do with marriage, to do with sex, to do with health and fitness, to do with the things that are key to my values and virtues of life. So I see content creation a bit like a waterfall. And at the top, this is where my essays are. And I'll be dedicating an episode soon just to discussing the best content systems for client acquisition, which is a great reason why for you to subscribe if you haven't already. But also, I view my essays primarily as a lead nurturing tool as well. My essays aren't things that I expect to be able to get people that don't know me to know me about. There's like the people that are already in the ecosystem. I want them to be able to consume that stuff and they're going to get the best value out of it. And the kickstart of it all is, it works because I begin with a topic or a question that's personally challenging me. And over a course of a week, I delve deep into it, researching it, structuring my thoughts into an essay that is not only helping me solve my personal dilemmas, but also sharpens the content that is what you're going to find on, say, chrisdufey.com. From there, I expand that essay into a YouTube video that then is also into a podcast as well. So half of my content involves me interviewing top experts or addressing personal challenges and solutions. And the other half is me kind of like what I'm doing right now in this episode. I call this a talking head episode where I'm really outlaying in detail a solution to a key problem. Now, I'm also experimenting with a new content method, offering free consultations to business owners. And this is really where I wanted to show a behind the scenes look into how I actually tackle real world business growth. And what's amazing is there's an episode about to come out really soon of a consultation that I did with a coach called Jacob. And I just got a message from him yesterday that was actually him adding $240,000 of profit just from that one consultation that we did. So another reason to subscribe, because you're definitely not going to want to miss out on that stuff. So then it goes into the podcast, which is obviously you can listen to all of everything that's happening that is on the YouTube as well. There is no difference between the YouTube and the podcast, if I could be perfectly honest. I'm not going to produce specific content for YouTube that is not going to go on the podcast and vice versa. Then there's Instagram, and here, this is kind of like my short form content. It's the daily bite-sized insights where I distill complex information into something quick and easy to digest, because creating these snippets forces me to actually thoroughly understand the topic and succinctly communicate that solution as well. So there's the content that comes through that we've covered so far, from essays, YouTube, podcasts, Instagram, but then there's advertising as well. Now we're just turning on the ads, which are going to be Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube ads. These platforms are segmented into 3 key areas, which I don't have time to go into today, but I will definitely do an episode intricately going through the actual advertising system to be able to get leads and to be able to put them into a sales process and to ensure that you have the highest uptake and conversions through that sales process as well. Have you subscribed? If not, this is the best time for you to subscribe, whether you're on the YouTube or on the podcast. Why? Because it would be a bummer if you missed out on everything that's to come, or don't subscribe if you're not actually getting much value out of this, because there is a zillion other things that you could be doing. So I'd rather you go and do that. The ball's in your court. So for me, there's lead generation, which we've just covered. Then there's lead nurture. And this process is critical because this is how we build relationships, stay relevant, and remain top of mind. And it's about making enough of a connection that when it comes time to sell, then the relationship's already there. So we achieve this through 2 primary ways, which is going to be, number 1, emails. And so if you're not already on the email VIP list, you're truly missing out. This is where I share the creme de la creme of what I've really been discussing. It's a gateway to accessing the full spectrum of my insights. Plus you're going to be able to get like exclusive deals, the offers through the emails that usually get snapped up in the actual VIP email list before it ever goes public. And also you'll get access and updated with everything else that's coming out. So there's emails for lead nurture, but then I also do workshops. So every month I do live workshops where I'm going to be specifically diving into a strategy, a campaign, a funnel designed specifically to scale a coaching business. These sessions are primarily for the members of the Rainmakers community, but I also offer a limited number of tickets. Typically, I actually sell these tickets just for $100, which allows anyone interested to actually access the valuable workshop, but it's at a nominal fee. So really, this is what I'm doing, is I'm already delivering this workshop for my Rainmakers Circle community. I'm already doing it no matter what, but I'm opening up a select number of small spots for people to be able to buy, to then come into the workshop, to get a feel for it, to see it, to taste it, so that then they can make a decision of, oh, of course, this is a no-brainer for me now to make this Rainmakers community, because they've seen behind the scenes of it. Because I believe that one of the best ways to get someone to know that you can help them is to actually help them in the first place. So it's not all about making money, but instead it's about ensuring that participants are truly invested in not just looking for the freebies as well, okay? So there's the lead generation, there is the lead nurture through emails and the workshops, and then there is the conversions. And this is the 3rd pillar among our 5 systems that will be really making sales. So we utilize 3 main mechanisms. 1, I've already talked about, the workshops. As mentioned, these are the powerful learning tools and engagement tools. Then we have one-on-one demo calls. These are personalized demo calls for potential partners, okay? Now, I'll go into the math of what it is, but there's really just 2 main sides of what it is that we do and what we sell as a part of Rainmakers. The demo calls are just for potential partners. This is where really it's a true application process. Somebody has to register their interest, they put an application forward. This isn't like a typical application funnel that is, you'll see, it's kind of like apply, you answer some questions, then you choose a time for a call, then you go into a sales call, and then you get pitched, do you know what I mean, a thing. We don't do that. It's an application, we review it. We actually review every application each week. Then if you go past the application and you're accepted, then our team member James will actually reach out, then be able to book in a call so that you can go through everything that you genuinely need to, so that we can make sure that we add value to the business. And this call is really designed to answer all the questions and to outline what a tailored game plan is really going to be as well. So there is the workshops, there is the demo calls for partners, and then there is the actual sales page and Google Doc that we use that is to sell into the Rainmakers community. Now, the page makes it super clear why our community is unparalleled, offering exceptional value for making a really minimal investment. I specifically chose a really low ball number, but I still needed skin in the game. I truly believe when somebody has skin in the game, that is when they're actually going to apply and use it. Because if I'm just putting out this, okay, let me backtrack 1 second. The Rainmakers community is really for coaches that want to get to $100,000 per month. They want to be able to see the lead generation and the sales systems. This is literally everything that we're using with our partners and being able to have these systems built that is scaling 7 and 8 figure coaching businesses. We're taking those playbooks, those systems, those winning campaigns, those winning funnels, all of the best social media posts that are working, and we're literally putting it inside of the Rainmakers community. And you get it for like $100 a week. And if it's more than $100 a week and you're watching this, it's because I've increased the price and you missed out on that as well. So if you see it for $100 a week, snap it up now because the prices will be going up. So the community is sold through a sales page or a Google Doc. Because it is a nominal fee, I don't need to waste somebody's time on getting on a call for that either. Now, let's talk about the key 2 offers that this is to make sure the math works out. So we've talked about the acquisition, the lead generation, the lead nurture, the sales, but then let's talk about, okay, well, what is it that we're actually selling? I wanted to make this as easy and as clean as possible because there was 2 parts to it. There is the Rainmakers community, which is starting at the $100 a week. And this is the perfect option for coaches that want to be able to have everything needed to be able to get new clients that want to scale to $100,000 per month. At that point, we have our partner portfolio. Now, the actual retainer to start on currently is $6,500 per month, and it goes up and it goes into a profit share after that because it's performance based. Because we handle the strategy, the lead generation, the conversions to drive profits, increasing value, lifetime value of clients, our approach is really straightforward, that we maintain a limited roster of partners to ensure that we have a personalized attention. So when it comes to the partners, we actually have a ceiling that we have consciously chosen that we don't want to work with more partners. We could if we wanted to earn more money, but we sat down and we said, we know that we can hit our economic, our money goals, which for me was I want to profit $4 million a year. So I know with the partners, with the community, with the sales targets, and even choosing a cap at how many people that we allow in. So there's 2 types of caps that we have. There is a cap of how many partners and community members we let on board each month. Okay, so we can't have and we don't have a big influx on either of those 2 offers in a month. We actually keep it very small because we find it very important to be able to on-ramp each partner and community member properly so they get the best results as well. Then we have a cap of how many people there are actually as partners also. So we specifically chose those ceilings because we don't want to have to work more, because I want to be able to enjoy the time with my family, with my friends, with myself, and doing other stuff also. So as you develop your business, which is the whole point of why I'm wanting to share this episode with you, as you develop your plan and where it is that you want to go, make sure that you are synergizing and finding harmony between you can ensure to earn the money that you want, doing the work that you want, and the amount of work that you want to be doing as well, and it's all being able to fit in together. Now, additionally, we keep our partnerships confidential to provide our clients with a competitive edge. Now, unlike typical coaching programs, the Rainmakers community grants access to the entire suite of the marketing materials, the strategies, allowing all of the members to directly be able to integrate those proven techniques into their own businesses. So it's your like private access to a vault of the tested, most successful marketing assets between it. So that's where we've differentiated the two offers. And this is, again, I'm showing you what I'm doing, but I'm trying to teach you what I'm doing. So I'm giving a fish and teaching a fish. I've designed it for two different offers, really clear. If you're under $100,000 a month, the community is probably a really good option. If you want to continue to scale to multi-7 to 8 figures, then it's the partners. So it makes it really simple to choose which one it is that you want to be able to dive into. All right, speaking of diving into, let's dive into what I call like the back of the napkin math, the economic model behind our strategy. So we've set the clear limit to how many partners that we work with. The cap's not arbitrary, it's based on actually our performance metrics and our capacity to deliver the outstanding results. So we maintain a close eye on the contribution of each partner since our compensation is actually directly tied to their success. For the community, I've set the price point deliberately low to make it a no-brainer to join. However, it's not so low that it's equated with lesser quality membership sites. Really importantly, with what I've done here, or I think I've tried to do here. We offer our best intellectual property, our best IP, including those campaigns, the funnels, the strategies, all that jazz, to ensure that the members are actually committed enough to be able to use and achieve and get the outcome acquired. So we intentionally limit the number of people who can join us. And this can seem counterintuitive, but it means we're sacrificing short-term revenue because it allows us to properly onboard new members, ensuring they achieve the best results. So it's a high-touch approach, but my thesis or my philosophy or my experiment really is, and something I might regret. I might do an episode later and go, hey, I totally regret this. I did the wrong thing. And again, why I want to be sharing what's best working, but I want to be more deliberate with my approach. So I'm sacrificing short-term rapid growth and profits for longer-term success, because ultimately what I'm optimizing for is peace. What I'm optimizing for is to sleep better at night, knowing that we have a methodical process to guarantee greater results. So when it comes to building my businesses and me assisting in growing other people's businesses, here are the key questions I ask, and I encourage you to be able to answer them right now. 1, how much profit do you aim to make? 2, how much tax are you going to be paying and what's your tax setup so that you know your actual profit? Then it is, what should your profit margin and operating expenses look like? Then it is, what is your cost per acquisition and marketing expenses? Then it's going to be, what is your lead flow and conversion rates that are necessary to make sure that you keep your acquisition costs viable? These are the questions that need to be answered, and doesn't need to be overly complex either. But answering them provides a really clear framework that makes it easier to be able to operate and guide a business towards growth. This is where, when I look at these numbers, I can pinpoint the constraint of where the business is, and that's why I can grow businesses faster, because I know the exact problem. Once I solve that problem, I install a playbook, I install a system, I put the right team members on board, then that problem is no longer a problem, it grows quickly, and we move on to the next problem, and we rinse and repeat through the process. So, as we wrap up this episode, I want you to be able to feel empowered to take control of your business and your life. Because my journey from being a super stressed entrepreneur to a successful business strategist, it wasn't easy, but it's been incredibly rewarding. And I just believe, if a meathead like me can do this, dude, you're good to go. You've got this. Because I want you to remember, it's not just about making money, it's about creating a life that fulfills you every single day. Stay true to that. Stay true. Yes, there are going to be hard seasons. There are going to be hard days. There is going to be shit that you're going to go through, for sure. I'm not saying that you should avoid that. I'm saying you should embrace that. But I want you to be able to build a business that is actually going to give you a fulfilling life as well. Because part of my parting advice with this episode, and why I wanted to kind of like open the kimono and share this with you, is I want you to start small. I want you to think big, and I want you to act fast. I want you to be able to learn from every step that you take, and I don't want you to shy away from being able to pivot when necessary. Because most importantly, I want you to keep your core values and your vision at the forefront of everything that you do. This alignment is crucial for sustainable success and personal satisfaction, because every time I've gone astray from that, shit's hit the fan and it's not been fun. So it's why I want you to envision your ideal life and then reverse engineer it from there. Just like I did, sitting down with a blank piece of paper, knowing the new company that I wanted to start and being able to get to this point already. I want you to determine how much you need to earn, what kind of work that you want to do, and how you want your days to actually look. Because from there, you can construct a business and a business model that not only meets your financial goals, but also fits your lifestyle as well. So I really appreciate you being able to stick with me in this episode. I hope this is really been useful and valuable. Please let me know in the YouTube comments or hit me up on Instagram DMs if it hasn't been useful, or if there's things that have been missed or things you want more of. Please tell me, please let me know. Even if you haven't subscribed, do so, because it'd be a bummer if you missed out on everything to come, because I want to make sure that all of these episodes to come are actually answering the problems you have as well. And most importantly, so that I can give you the most amount of help, so I can give you the answers from what I know to make sure that you avoid the mistakes that I've made, and for you to learn the lessons that I've already been able to pick up as well. I think that is the best way that I could possibly be able to help you. So I appreciate your time and attention. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. If you've enjoyed this episode and it's vibed with you, then make sure that you hit subscribe, whether you're on the YouTube or on the podcast. And importantly, if there is any guests that you want me to have on the show, or specific questions or topics that you want me to be able to cover for you, simply put it into the YouTube comments or send me an Instagram DM. That way I can make sure you're getting the most out of actually being here.